Hey guys, Brigitte with San Diego Seed Company here, and today we are going to talk about seed starting, transplanting, all the stuff you want to be planting in April in zone 9 and 10, but also coincidentally, this includes a lot of other zones around the United States because no matter where you are, spring is either here or very close to coming in your area. Depending on where you are, it might still be pretty cold. Here in Southern California, nights are getting above 50, daytime temperatures are getting above 80. It is spring heading into summer. So you guys have seen my videos that I've done with my little blackboard here, which has different things that you want to either transplant out or direct sow. I'm going to talk specifically about April, and before I do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you're notified anytime we do a video. Now let's hop into it. So I'm talking about April seed starting. So if you've watched my other videos, you know I've really pushed seed starting of tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, all the things that you're going to start from small 6-packs or in your greenhouse or inside and then transplant outside. Today I want to talk about some direct sowing. So let's go outside. Okay, now before I forget guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway of one of my favorite squash varieties to those who comment and subscribe to our channel. So it's important to us that you guys subscribe so that we know how many followers we have, and also comment so we know what kind of content you want so we can answer your gardening questions. So a little bit about this squash. One of my favorites because I love the round shape. You can slice them as thinly as you want and you can pan fry them. You can, there's so many things you can do, and then it goes perfectly on a sandwich. And they're really easy to direct sow. So let's talk a little bit about direct sowing crops. And I'm gonna show you a lot of the crops here that you can direct sow very easily in April. Okay, so some of the things that you can direct sow: melons of all kinds. The soil is getting warm enough, and as long as you keep the soil moist, they'll germinate very easily. So here's just a couple of different watermelon varieties. Squashes, as I mentioned, very easy to direct sow. You can also transplant them, we have, but if you don't have the space and the energy and the time to do all the special steps, prep your soil and direct sow them very easily. This is a really neat, very compact squash, love that. There's lots of flowers that you can direct sow into the garden that grow almost wild and crazy. Cornflowers are one. Cosmos, such a favorite flower that it's a fairy garden flower is what I like to say. Flax, super easy. That's what this is here. These were all direct sown into the garden. Sunflowers, really easy to direct sow. We're gonna be planting tons of them at our Ramona farm this weekend. More sunflowers. And pumpkins. That's another really good one that you can direct sow into the garden. So I'm letting you know that you can direct sow, and now let me give you some tips on how you can do that really well. So the key with direct sowing is that you want your soil to mimic the light, fluffy, beautiful soil, the seed starting soil that I recommend when you do your transplants. Now let's take a look at this soil. This is pretty good looking soil. It's a little sandy, but that's just because Southern California doesn't have great soil. We've added tons of compost, but the big factor in this is that it's light, it's fluffy, and it's not so saturated that moisture is just falling through it. I would actually say this is probably a little bit on the dry side, so I'll want to pre-water, but it's free of any big sticks, rocks, debris, anything like that. Because as I've mentioned before, seeds are living, respiring organisms, and they only have enough energy in their seed coat to do one thing and one thing only: to pop through the soil. The bigger the seed, the more energy it has, so the deeper the seed can be planted. So something like a squash or a pumpkin can go pretty deep into the ground. But even if it's a big seed, you still want to make sure that rocks are not on top of it, sticks, anything that might keep it from germinating evenly. So the way that I like to direct sow any seed is I clear the bed. This is pretty clear already. I like to make a little furrow, and that does several things. The furrow is going to allow me to water, and the seeds are not going to rush away. And it's also going to give me a perfect area where I can put my seeds. I am not a fan, and for those of you who have taken my seed starting classes, you know it's a pet peeve of mine to take a seed and stick it in the ground like that. Why? Because I have no idea how deep I stuck it. I want to be able to A, see the seed, know that how far I've planted it apart from the other one. Then I want to cover it with really good soil. And a little cheater trick here I've got is, this is actually potting mix and a little bit of a seed starting mix in here that was just left over. And I'm going to use a little bit of my garden soil too. And I've got this little colander that I use for rinsing veggies, but it's got the perfect spacing to be able to cover my seeds with a nice, light, sifted soil mix. So you can see here, now what's left in the colander? A bunch of stuff that I don't want this on top of my seeds. Especially the smaller the seed that you're going to direct sow, the more important it is that things like this don't land on top of your seeds. So by using some type of sifting method, you can ensure that you have a light mix on top. And so they're planted. I'll come in here and I will water with the hose, not on some crazy blast that'll blow it out. Okay.
You doing a watering can or a hose?
And it might be on the ends over here probably. No, it's already got one on it. Get up out of the way here. So now I'm gonna come through and make sure that I water this area really well, especially if you are in an area like zone 9 and 10. Even though we got some rain the last week, there really is very little moisture in the soil, and you gotta make sure that soil stays moist the whole time or you won't get germination. So I've got my hose set on kind of a wider spray here. That'll work. And I'm gonna water, and I'm gonna water really well. If you're doing really small seeds, it's a good idea to use almost the misting setting. And now, see how the water is pooling in my little furrow? Stop, wait, take a drink of your coffee if it's the morning. If it's the evening time, take a drink of your beer, let it soak, be patient, and then continue to water a few more times. What we're gonna do is set this up on irrigation. We use T-tape, so I'll connect this T-tape here and put the T-tape right on top of where the seeds were planted to ensure that they germinate. You can see that's the method that we use to get these flax to germinate. So let's just do a little review. When you're direct sowing, you have to prep the soil and prep it well. It should be free of any sticks, rocks, big clods, things that would prevent the seeds from germinating. You want to water really well beforehand if you need to, if the soil is dry. I personally like to plant in a furrow and then cover the seeds with really well sifted soil to ensure that they germinate quickly and evenly and they're not obstructed by anything that could be in the soil. And then you want to water afterwards really well. If you are in an area that is extremely warm and you have a hard time keeping the soil moist, you can lay shade cloth across here until the seeds germinate to ensure that you reduce the evaporation of the moisture from the soil, and you're not having to come out here and water, as often, especially if you're watering by hand. We have everything on irrigation, which is a time saver. I don't know if we could have a farm like this if we were hand watering. We would be spending all day, every day watering. So on our farm and in your garden, you're probably still starting things from seed in small pots and transplanting them out. You still have plenty of time to do things like your peppers, your eggplants, more tomatoes. We'll be starting tomatoes well into June. And the reason why you do that is they're small seeds, they're finicky to germinate, and it's easier to do them in a 6-pack or a transplant and put them into your garden once they get big enough. Now, you can plant any seed in the garden direct sown, but you have better luck with bigger seeds that germinate quickly and easily. So no matter what you're planting in your garden, take advantage of this amazing weather that we're having. Spring is in the air. Get outside and enjoy it. All right, guys, don't forget that I'm going to be sending these seeds to one lucky winner of somebody who comments on this video and subscribes to our channel. I'll personally put this in the mail to you because I know you're gonna love it.